Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Day 2 of IMTS 2012. I'm Emily Barta, the host of IMTS TV, and this is the Industry Eye Technology Update. Sun & Products is the world's largest vertically integrated manufacturer of honing systems for precision bore sizing and finishing. The company controls all R&D, manufacturing, service, and support of its products, including specialized abrasives and tooling. Core technical competencies include automated and manual machining systems, custom system development and integration, abrasives, tooling, lubricants, and gauging. IMTS TV spoke with Distributor Jerry Support Manager Jerry Spitzler about the fundamentals of honing and the machines that Sun & builds for that process.
We're here with Jerry Spitzler in the Sun & booth in the North Building at 7400. How are you today?
Just fine, thank you.
So first, I understand you're going to give us a little explanation about honing, which is what you feature here. So what have you got to show us?
Honing is a very precise process for finishing bores and parts. We make holes that are drilled or reamed very precise, very round, very straight. Surface finish is very good. It's really the precision part of hole making is our business. Now this is a part that has been honed, and it's a simulation of a fuel injector, and the bore has been finished with a honing machine, and then there's a precise fit with a pin. When you put the two pieces together, now the bore is held on just by the air pressure that's trapped between the pin and the bore, and when you spin the part, it spins on a cushion of air. So honing allows parts to become very closely fit together. So this would be like a fuel injector for a diesel cylinder engine. Now what we have here is a miniature V8 engine. This is the world's smallest production V8 engine. And this is Gary Conley. He's the inventor of this engine. He supplies this to hobby enthusiasts around the world. And what he's found is without honing, he wouldn't be able to make this engine run. Honing is the key to allowing this engine to work properly.
So why is that exactly?
Well, the close fit that you can get with the honed surfaces allows the engine parts to run without wearing and seizing up. And he's showing the engine cylinders that are honed finishes. That's where the piston runs up and down and powers the engine.
Now you mentioned that this is for hobbyists, so what exactly is this some sort of racing?
Well, these engines are used in radio-controlled vehicles. They could be cars, they could be boats. People use them to show what an engine is and how it works on a small scale. This engine is about a 5.5 horsepower. So the supercharged engine is almost double the horsepower of the normally aspirated engine. Now this is a small engine, but we also hone full-size engines, and we have those in the booth.
So tell us what we're looking at right now.
Okay, this is a full-size V8 engine block, and this is a machine that's designed to hone the engine block cylinders, all 8 cylinders, without any intervention from the operator of the machine. So he loads the block into the machine, pushes the start button, and the machine will automatically hone all 4 cylinders on one bank. It'll rotate the engine, hone all 4 cylinders on the other bank. It does roughing and finish honing all in one step. So all the operator needs to do is keep the machine full of engine blocks, and he can do other things during the day.
So how long would it take for that process to be completed?
Normally with an engine block, a V8 of this size, you'd probably be looking at 30 to 40 minutes per block.
Okay.
It'll be quicker than that because we're not doing any manual operations, so we might be looking at less than 30 minutes per block here.
So what other types of advantages does this machine offer specifically?
Well, the precise size control that you can get with this machine without any operator intervention It takes the labor out of the process because the operator is free to do other things. It really makes the process more foolproof.
Are there other types of equipment or applications for this machine?
Oh yes, this machine can be used to recondition hydraulic cylinders. It can be used to work on a wide variety of parts. Gears. There are also tubes for the oil and gas industry that can be done on this machine. It's a pretty versatile machine.
All right, well, let's see what else you have here. So tell us about this machine that we're looking at now.
Okay, this is an SV20 honing machine. This machine is a brand new machine. It's going to be coming on the market in the first quarter of next year. And what's new and different about this machine is it has a 20-inch vertical stroke, but the price range of this machine is in a range that we haven't been able to achieve with a machine with this capacity before. It's a lower cost vertical honing machine that can be used not only for engine blocks but also hydraulic parts, also pumps and gears, things that industrial markets would like to hone. When they need a 20-inch stroke, this machine has the capacity to do it. Most of our machines before this that were lower priced had a shorter stroke length. This machine has the stroke length and the power to do a wider range of parts.
Well, thank you so much for showing us around, Jerry. And again, this is the Sonnen booth, North Building number 7400. Thanks and good luck.
Thank you.
OMAX Corporation is the global leader of precision-engineered, computer-controlled abrasive water jet systems. OMAX's constant commitment to world-class customer service and technical support has been evident since 1993, when their patented motion control technology was first introduced to the abrasive water jet market. Because OMAX is a total solutions provider who designs and produces their own water jet equipment and machine controllers, they offer the broadest range of standard table sizes and accessories over any water jet equipment manufacturer in the industry. President Dr. John Chung took IMTS-TV on a guided tour of the 3 machines that are featured in the OMAX booth this year, explaining the advantages of water jet versus other cutting technologies.
So here we are at the OMAX booth in the North Building with Dr. John Chung. How are you today, Dr.
Very
Chung?
good, thank you.
All right, so what are we standing before here?
We're here in front of a water jet cutting system, or more specifically, an abrasive jet cutting system. What you see here is the OMAX product line, which is our premier line, and is designed for more precision and faster cutting. We have, in this case, a dual bridge system. Here on one bridge, we have a tilted jet that's designed specifically to cut accurately and eliminate any taper. On the other end, we have an A jet, which can do bevel cutting, a 5-axis machine plus a rotary, so it's a 6-axis machine over there. And the 2 bridges can operate independently and cut different parts at the same time.
So what are the advantages of water jet technology?
Water jet technology is the kind that it can cut a variety of materials without causing melting or heating of the material. So as a result, we can cut a lot of different materials, from soft material to hard material, tool, steel, titanium, without changing the tool. And also, because it's a cold cutting process, we do not change the property of the material after you cut. Therefore, you don't have to worry about doing the heat treat, losing your heat treat, or after you cut the material, if you want to weld things together, you do not need to do a grinding process.
All right. Okay, so tell us about this machine.
This is what we call the Maxium. It's our second product line that is designed to be more price competitive, but it still meets industry standard. And this particular one is a little simpler to use, does not hold the extreme high precision, but still holds very good precision. So it's a product line that is designed and manufactured again in U.S. that we're able to sell across the world, in all countries, even in countries that they have manufacture their own cheap water jet, we can sell in there and compete.
Now, compared to the last machine, which was very large, this one is smaller. So what kind of parts are made on this machine?
Actually, we're just showing different sizes. The two product lines have the same range of size.
Okay.
So this one, because it's smaller, generally people making smaller parts or using smaller raw stock that they don't need to then buy a big machine. But it's the same capability as a big machine is.
All right, very good. Well, let's see what else you have here. So this is an example of a part that can be made on this machine, correct?
Yes, we designed this part to cut so that we can illustrate the intricacy and the accuracy of the machine. And also, this machine has what we call the tilter jet, which is used to eliminate taper. And so you can see that the edges of the cut are very straight and perpendicular to the surface. So because it's so intricate, our customers sometimes even use it to make jewelry.
Yeah. Okay, so tell us about this machine.
Well, this machine is, again, an abrasive water jet system. And it can cut, because it's a cold cutting process, we can cut a lot of different materials without changing tool. And we also do not change the property of the material after we cut it. So it can be applied to a variety of industries.
All right, so as far as people here at the show, what industries could really use water jet and should really come by your booth?
Actually, we sell to practically all industries. So as long as they have parts, especially two-dimensional parts that they need to make, then we would say we can have something for them. So it can range from food processing industry, aerospace, automotive, tool and die, all industries. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Chung, and good luck this week.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
This is Penny Brown with IMTS TV.
Since 1958, Brush Research Manufacturing has been a leader and a manufacturer of premium quality power brushes, twisted in-wire brushes, and the BRM Flex Hone tool, providing standard and custom brush products for industrial and retail customers. In addition to selling their products domestically, Brush Research exports products globally by working with an extensive network of distributors. The tools can be found in manufacturing plants and service shops across the globe. Yet, all of the tools that they manufacture are still made right here at home in the USA. IMTS TV spoke to Vice President of Global Sales, Mike Miller, about the Flex Hone tool, which is made in a variety of sizes and finishes for addressing finishing, deburring, and edge bending applications.
We're here with Mike Miller at the Brush Research Manufacturing booth in the North Building at IMTS 2012. How are you today, Mike?
Doing well, Penny. Thank you very much for visiting us in our booth.
Thanks for having us here. So I understand you're basically featuring three different sort of versions of technology here in your booth. Can you sort of explain this first one here, tell us what they are and what they do?
Well, Penny, we found that a trend in manufacturing today is to do more on the machine tool and less on the hand bench. Our first tool we're featuring today is our Flex Hone tool. The Flex Hone tool is a flexible abrasive cylinder hone that's primarily designed for surface finishing, and it's also found great application in cross-hole deburring. The Flex Hone has abrasive globules laminated onto the ends of nylon filaments that allow a perfect finish in virtually any size or type of cylinder. The tool can be used virtually in any rotating spindle, whether it's a machine tool, a drill press, or a hand drill. It's a very effective tool and puts the finish back on the machine tool and off of the hand bench and the secondary operations.
So it looks like you have kind of a few different versions of that here. Can you sort of explain the differences between these different brushes?
Yes, the tool is used in virtually any type or size of cylinder, from 4 millimeters, the very smallest we make, all the way up to 36 inches. It comes in a variety of abrasive types and abrasive grits to provide virtually any surface finish that's required.
So what sort of industries and applications are these typically used for?
That's one of the unique features of the tool. It's used in many industries, whether it's nuclear industry, valves, hydraulic cylinders, pneumatic cylinders. It can be used in firearms. It can be used in musical instruments. Our slogan is virtually any size or type of cylinder, and that really is true.
So it looks like these are some parts that these brushes are used for. Can you kind of tell us about these?
It's a typical application of cross-hole deburring. You have a normal cylinder with cross holes drilled into it. The normal way of providing deburring on this is to go through each hole individually. The Flex Zone tool allows a single tool to be used down the center line while deburring all the cross holes at once, providing very effective deburring at a very reduced or increased machine rate.
Now, exactly what kind of part is this?
This would be a type of spool valve. Virtually any two intersecting holes can be deburred with the tool, though.
All right, well, let's move over to your second line here. Okay, so give us the breakdown of this line of brushes.
This is our new NamPower abrasive discs finishing tool. The unique feature of these tools is it uses a combination of abrasive. It's fit with silicon carbide abrasive that provides good finish, and ceramic abrasive that results in good tool life and good material removal. The tool is made using a thermoplastic injection molded base. As opposed to other product on the market that may just be a cast base, these have a rigid, firm grip, allowing good balance for the tool.
Now, as far as sort of the different bristle patterns here, why are these made a little bit differently?
You think of these in terms of aggressiveness, and converse to that, flexibility. The most flexible would be the dot style with a long trim out. Most flexible and also least aggressive. The next would be the short dot style, shorter trim out. Then it goes to the turbine style. The turbine style would be a little more aggressive, and it has the long trim out, so it would still be semi-flexible. And finally, you have the short trim out of the turbine style, which offers the most aggressive cut for the most heavy deburring, at the same time allowing for a little bit less flexibility.
In terms of applications, compared to the first line that we looked at, what are these used for?
These are primarily for flat surface finishing. They're used on machine tools primarily. Another unique feature that this tool is used with that sets them apart is our unique flow-through coolant holder. This allows coolant to exit the end of the spindle, putting the fluid at the center of the brush, which is where it belongs, allowing faster cut rates and faster machine cycles, as opposed to putting it on and squirting the fluid from the outside, where centrifugal force would drive it away. This actually shoots the fluid from the center, providing for very effective cooling.
All right, very good. So let's look at your third segment here.
Okay.
So now it appears we've moved to some very small brushes. Can you tell us what these are for?
Right, Betty, as I said before, the Flex Zone tool is our primary choice for deburring down to 4 millimeters. When you get below 4 millimeters, the technology changes and you can't make a Flex Zone, so we offer our miniature abrasive nylon brushes. I say miniature brushes, they're not all abrasive nylon. These brushes can be produced in diameters as small as 24 thousandths. They come in fill materials such as brass, stainless steel, nylon, abrasive nylon, and we even feature diamond-filled abrasive nylon. This allows you to finish holes much smaller than were previously possible.
So, I'm sorry, what type of applications would this be used for?
Oh, it might be medical, it might be fuel injection, any small holes requiring deburring. Previously, there really was no solution. We also are featuring our pin vices today, so if you have a very small brush, you need something very small to hold it. So we have a series of pin vices that allow good secure holding of this. We have a double-ended vise, and you can imagine a burring bench with several holes on it. The technician could have several of these mounted at his bench with the proper size brush for each hole to make very effective and hand deburring without the fatigue that's associated with normal deburring.
Thank you so much for your time, Mike, and for showing us around.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Penny. We really appreciate the opportunity to tell the brush research story.
Thank you so much. This has been Penny Brown with IMTS TV.
Bel Air Finishing is a unique manufacturer and supplier of mass finishing technology. By virtue of operating a surface finishing and tumbler finishing shop for over 15 years, they have experienced the many obstacles that a company must hurdle to achieve first quality, yet cost-effective finishing of its components. Bel Air Finishing specializes in precision finishing of parts for jewelry manufacturing, industrial part manufacturing, cast and molded parts, electronic, stamped and extruded parts, and delicate parts for medical applications. Vice President of Sales and Marketing, Jim Rubino, showed IMTS-TV several finished products that were finished by their machines that are made in the USA at their facility in North Kingstown, Rhode Island.
We're visiting with Jim Rubino in the Bel Air booth at the Abrasive Sawing and Finishing Pavilion at IMTS 2012. How are you today, Jim?
I'm good, Penny. How are you?
I'm doing great. So tell us kind of about the technology that Bel Air makes.
Certainly. Bel Air produces equipment along with processing for their customers in deburring and finishing. So we've been in business about 40 years, and we've developed lines of equipment as well as manufacturing procedures with that equipment that we share with our customers, and hopefully they can then give products to various industries and in various markets.
So we're standing here next to this great display of all these parts that have been made by your technology. So let's talk about a few of them here. Let's start out with this. So tell us about what this is.
Penny, that is a bone plate. It's used by most orthopedic surgeons obviously in a pretty tough situation for the patient, but it mends bones. And obviously we don't want to have burrs on these, so when they're in the body. So our equipment helps with various media to get rid of the burrs and then polish it as well.
What kind of metal is this?
This one I think is titanium.
Okay, so you get a lot of business in the medical industry for this type of thing?
Yes, we do. We do quite a bit with not only the plates but also the bone screws.
All right, so it looks as though maybe this one here, can you tell us about this part?
That happens to be a thread gauge, and it's coated with, I think it's titanium nitride coating. And so what happens is we polish the coating. The reason we polish the coating is so that it can go in and out of a threaded area with ease and accuracy. We also are involved in the cutting tool piece prior to using the gauge. So.
All right, so one more part here. Just tell us about this one.
Okay, this happens to be a ball end mill, and it has recently been sharpened. And what we do is we hone the tool, basically make a very fine radius on the cutting edge. The cutting of metal then transpires actually very rapidly, and with this small little radius on the edge, it enables the tool to last 2 to 3 times longer than normal. And so we become very much involved in this industry of helping people selling cutting tools to elongate the time in which they're in the machine, so therefore the customers have less downtime and more productivity.
Wonderful. So let's take a look at what else is here in your booth.
Absolutely.
All right, so tell us about this machine right here.
This machine is our model FMDF 2000T, and its primarily function is to put the edge prep on tooling. As we discussed with one of the parts, the tools, especially like that ball end mill that we showed, are very sharp. So as a result, we put a very slight radius on the cutting edge. And it's accomplished by being placed into one of the holders, and the holder then is dropped with the tool into our media. The media then does a very fine deburring and puts a very slight radius on the tool that then, as I said before, extends tool life 2 to 3 times.
So for our visitors here at IMTS, can you tell me maybe who should come by your booth, from what industries, what applications?
Well, certainly we focus on, with the tool honing, it goes across many, many different markets. But the aircraft people, the medical people, and in many instances, even the automotive people, because they will be using many of the cutting tools that we can help hone and put an edge prep on so that they can save money by utilizing less tools.
Sounds good. All right, so let's see what else you've got here. All right, so one more machine to check out here. Tell us what we've got here.
This is a centrifugal disc machine, and actually has 3 centrifugal disc bowls on it. Specifically, this can be used for cutting, deburring, some light polish, and then some final polish. Why do we use this machine, and why is it so small? I thought you'd never ask. It's actually an 8-liter machine, and why we would use a small bowl like this is because the speed and force at which these operate is way beyond what is known as a tumbler and or a vibratory bowl. To the point where if we were to compare this to a vibratory bowl, we would be able to do in about a quarter of the time the same work that's done in a vibratory bowl in one of these machines. Also, because of the force that's used, we're able to use smaller media. And what that media does is acts like miniature grinding wheels and gets in nooks and crannies. So the geometry of the media fits the geometry of a part, and then we're able to give the customer not only a machine that works, but also a process that yields either a deburring, a polishing, or both. And in this instance, we do all 3 things, from going from one bowl to the next to the next. Now, this is our smallest size, the 8-liter. We also have a 22-liter, and we also have a 60-liter. And they can all come in 1, 2, or 3 ganged models off of the same controller. So this piece of equipment has been a really godsend to the industry, especially when it comes to lean manufacturing and cellular manufacturing. We can put these machines adjacent to CNC machines right in a cell, and then the throughput continues on to the next operation without having to leave the cell. We found that this has been embraced by the industry, especially in today's lean manufacturing times.
Well, it looks like you've got some really innovative technology here, so thank you for taking the time to show us around.
Well, you're welcome, Penny. It's always good to see you again, and thanks for having us here at IMTS 2012.
Good luck at the show.
Thanks.
This has been Penny Brown with IMTS TV.
IMTS TV had an opportunity to spend some time in the Emerging Technology Center to find out about the latest advancements within MT Connect. MT Connect is a set of open, royalty-free standards intended to foster greater interoperability between controls, devices, and software applications by publishing data over networks using the Internet Protocol. MT Connect is a basic first step in linking shop floor technology and in moving towards the goal of seamless manufacturing operations. Here is Vice President of Technology for the Association for Manufacturing Technology, Paul Warndorf, to tell us about the evolution of MT Connect since its debut and about MT Connect Institute. So Paul, MT Connect was introduced at IMTS 2008. Talk to us about the evolution the past 4 years.
Yes, in 2008 we started off here at IMTS with a rather large booth that was in the center, and that was the creation of letting people understand how you can collect data off of various types of devices and machines and then utilize that data for creating information. Since that time, we have gone through 3 versions of the standard. We're at version 1.2 currently, and we will be introducing towards the end of this year or early next year 1.3. That version is an enhancement to the standard that we're going to be adding in some other data items and features.
Now, Paul, I understand that you are part of MT Institute. Talk to us about that.
Right, we created the MT Connect Institute in 2009. That's so that we can bring people together to help out and assist in the enhancement of the standard. Since that time, we have over 100 organizations that belong to the Institute. We hold 3 times a year meetings where we have a good 50 to 60 organizations attend. And the purpose of that is they are in control of providing to us what we need to do to help out the advancement of the standard.
Now, Paul, where can we find out more information about both MT Connect and the MT Institute?
Well, there's two things. One of them, we have a website, and that's the mtconnect.org website. That you will find out about what's going on relative to the standard. We also have just recently created the MT Connect forum. This is basically a users group forum where if you have questions or you'd like to get answered, you want to talk about what's going on, there's a forum. And that's the mtconnectforum.com. Okay?
Thank you, Paul.
You're welcome.
And here is Principal Sales Consultant for Oracle, Ranbir Mazumdar, to tell us about Oracle's debut as an exhibitor at IMTS 2012 and why they believe that it is a benefit to evaluate MT Connect. So Ranbir, I understand that this is Oracle's first time exhibiting at IMTS 2012. What brings you here?
Yeah, so this is the first time we are here, and manufacturing is a huge industry which has potential for doing analytics, business intelligence, and Oracle is platforms and a software company which has a tremendous presence in terms of providing solutions, platforms, architectures. So we see a great fit for manufacturing and Oracle, and I believe this is a great beginning for us. We are at the basement of something which is really exciting.
Very exciting, and I understand you have both a booth here in the North Hall at IMTS 2012 as well as having a presence in MT Connect. Why was it so important that you entered into the show with such a bang?
Essentially, we realized that MT Connect as a specification has real potential in terms of doing data analysis, aggregation, doing introspection. That's basically what we do. I have a background in embedded softwares, embedded Java, and Java is a tremendous tool for doing analytics, embedded programming, and that's where we see MT Connect as a tool which will provide us the door to get into what we call the edge to enterprise style architectures. By edge to enterprise, what I mean is you have on the edge all these manufacturing nodes, shop floor devices, sensors, which historically have tremendous amount of data which they essentially drop on the floor because nobody is collecting that. Oracle being a company which thrives in collecting data, doing analytics on those, we see a potential of doing big data style analytics on those, capturing that information, providing dashboards, be it energy efficiency dashboards, talk about people doing inventory management, cost savings. So we see a tremendous potential for this marriage between MT Connect, the manufacturing community, and Oracle. And that's where we have partnered with a company called System Insights, which does implement MT Connect, and we are providing the platform support for them. And we definitely want to come back in the next couple of years and have a much bigger presence and have a lot more to talk about.
And I understand that you're currently evaluating MT Connect, so it sounds like there's a lot still to come for Oracle.
Yeah, so we are still crossing the T's and dotting the I's in terms of the contracts and how, because MT Connect requires us to sign some implementers licenses and various other things. So that's basically still being done. But having said that, we believe from a technology perspective, it's one of the great specs out there. It's XML based, it's very technical, and fits right in how we want to solve enterprise problems.
Fantastic. Thank you, Ranbir.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate having me.
IMTS TV would not be possible without the generosity of our many sponsors. We have been catching up with them on the show floor to see what new innovations they brought to IMTS 2012. For over 80 years, Seco Tools has continuously led the charge in developing new diverse technologies as a leading global provider of metal cutting solutions for milling, turning, threading, homemaking, and tool holding.
Good afternoon. My name is Mike Parker. I'm Director of Marketing and Engineering for Seco Tools. I'd like to welcome you to IMTS 2012 and visit our stand on W1564. When you visit us, you're going to see our new products. We introduced a new line of durotomic turning grades for cast iron, milling grades for cast iron. You'll see a nice IndyCar from our partner Andretti. You'll also be able to come to the show and select an insert for your particular machining area. You can choose, hard machining, different materials. We'll give you a selection. You can take the insert away. Also, during the show, we're going to have a knowledge bar where you can meet our industry experts. You can listen to them speaking about composite machining, hard turning, grind versus grinding, special milling strategies, or component engineered tooling. So I welcome you to come and visit us on stand W1564. Come and meet our application engineers, our specialists, bring your applications, look at our new products. Let's all work together, make you more productive. Welcome to see you. Look forward to seeing you at the show.
Thank you for joining us as we wrap a very strategic, convincing, and memorable Day 2 at IMTS 2012. Be sure to tune in to our morning show tomorrow at 10 o'clock Central Time, when we will speak to Tessa Marheineke, Director of Global Affairs at Deutsche Messe AG, about the debut of Industrial Automation North America Conference as a co-located event with IMTS. Also, be sure to join us for our Afternoon Eye talk show at 1 o'clock, featuring Technical Director of the Association for Manufacturing Technology, Kim Shimbara, as he shares technology developments in the manufacturing technology industry. Also joining us on the Afternoon Eye talk show is David Flynn, the Director of Manufacturing Operations on-demand parts for 3D Systems, who will explain to us the benefits of using additive technology. And on our evening newscast at 5 o'clock, we will bring you stories from the East Hall, including the controls and CAD/CAM, the EDM, the machine components cleaning environmental, and the quality assurance pavilions. All of this and more only on IMTS TV. I'm Emily Barta with your Industry Eye Technology Update, coming to you live from the IMTS TV studio at IMTS 2012. On behalf of everyone here at IMTS TV, thank you for tuning in today and have a great evening.